All right, so far we've seen a bunch of ways to zoom incrementally inside Photoshop. So for example, we're zooming from 25% to 33 to 50 and so forth. What if you want more control? What if you want to zoom continuously in and out from an image? Well, given that this is Photoshop, which is a great big application, there's a bunch of different ways to work, and you can choose the one that works best for you. Probably the easiest one is to press and hold one of those shortcuts that I told you about in the previous movie. So you can press Control and Spacebar, for example, here on the PC. You can press Spacebar Command on the Mac in order to get the zoom tool, or you can just go ahead and press and hold the Z key as I'm doing now. And then with that key pressed, I'll go ahead and click and hold in the image like so. And notice that I'm now continuously zooming in. And as soon as you release, you will stop zooming. So in my case, I zoomed to 256%. Where you land is, of course, going to be different, but you can bet it's not going to be an even zoom ratio. To zoom back out, just go ahead and press your favorite keyboard shortcut once again. For my part, I'll press and hold the Z key, then click and hold, and that'll zoom you in. But if you decide to zoom out instead, add the Alt key here on the PC or the Option key on the Mac, and that'll go ahead and take you out. And then as soon as you decide you want to stop zooming out, just go ahead and release the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac. And then when you like what you see, go ahead and release the mouse button and then release the Z key, and you will be left at whatever zoom ratio. In my case, it's now 72.5%, as you can see up here in the Title tab. All right, so that's just one way to work. I'm going to go ahead and press Control-0 or Command-0 on the Mac to zoom out. You can also take advantage of what's known as the scrubby zoom. So again, take advantage of your favorite shortcut, whether Control Spacebar here on a PC, Spacebar Command on the Mac, or just the plain old Z key, and then drag to the right in order to zoom in like so. And notice that it's a quick zoom this time around. So with just a very short drag, I've zoomed into 124%. If you want to zoom out, you don't have to press the Alt or Option key this time around. I've just got the Z key down, and what you do is you drag to the left like so. Now, that's a fairly new feature. It's come about in the last few years. There used to be another way to work, a way that a lot of old-timers prefer. And to demonstrate that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this other image that I have open right here. And let's say I want to zoom in on this central kid's face right there. I'll go ahead and press and hold the Z key. And notice as soon as I do, I have some new options that are available to me up here in the option bar, this horizontal bar below the menu bar, that is. So notice if I release the Z key for a moment, I have one set of options. If I press and hold the Z key once again, I have another set. And that's because this horizontal options bar is context sensitive. That is, it knows which tool is selected. See this one checkbox right here that reads Scrubby Zoom? Go ahead and turn it off for the moment. And with that Z key still down so that you still have access to the zoom tool, go ahead and drag around a portion of the image like so. I've now drawn a dotted marquee, and as soon as I release, I will zoom in on that marqueed portion of the image. So that is what happens when you turn off Scrubby Zoom. If you want to go back to the Scrubby Zoom feature, press and hold the Z key once again. Go ahead and turn on that checkbox like so, and then to zoom out, for example, go ahead and drag to the left with the Z key down, or you can drag to the right in order to zoom back in. All right, now there's still a couple of other ways to work. If you own a Macintosh laptop, such as a MacBook Pro, then you can pinch outward on your trackpad to zoom in, and you can pinch inward to zoom out. I'm not demonstrating that because I'm working on a PC. If you're working on a PC with a standard PC-style mouse that has a scroll wheel, then you can press and hold the Alt key or the Option key on the Mac, and then go ahead and scroll up to zoom in like so, or scroll down in order to zoom out. And again, you need the Alt or Option key in order to make that trick work. But it is once again an incremental zoom, which is why I find myself at an odd zoom ratio of 78.7%. Now, as I was saying in an earlier movie, anytime you're not looking at the image at one of the incremental zoom ratios, that is 25, 33, 50, and so forth, then the image is going to look a little softer on screen than it actually is. If you want to get a better sense of what's going on, then just either press Control plus to zoom in, or what I'm going to do is press Control minus to zoom out, and that'll step you down to the nearest fixed zoom ratio, at which point everything will look nice and sharp. And those are the many ways to take advantage of continuous zooming here inside Photoshop.